Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, or whenever you're watching this. It's your boy Antwane from the MMAHOLICS. Tonight I'm rolling solo on an MMAHOLICS gaming session. My boy Nikki gave me the blessing to do this because he's busy tonight. But he's just chilling, taking care of some schoolwork. And I thought I'd give you guys some content, discuss some of the topics going on in the MMA world. Of course, how it always goes with the gaming sessions. It's a podcast, 100%. We're going to talk about some fighting in the chat. I just play a game just to keep you guys entertained. And tonight we are playing Dogma 2 on the PS5. I played the first one when I was like 15 or 14 when it came out. And I fell in love with the game ever since, and I copped this new one when this came out on PS5. You guys already know how it is. Go ahead and say any comments y'all want in the chat about anything you're going to hear me talking about. Y'all already know around MMAHolics, we respect all opinions, all positive energy, never no BS, you feel me? And thank y'all again for joining us. And I'm doing this quest right now, y'all. I'm looking for this child or something like that. So, but you already know how we do. Tonight we got a list of topics that we were going to talk about on MMAHolics. And for the first one, I was going to talk about, hold on y'all, door's locked. I was going to talk about the booking of Jamal Hill versus Khalil Roundtree. So, I'm not going to lie, a part of me is I don't want to say worried, man, because I think fighters really have, I can't say their best interests, not even a backpedal. Ooh, hold on.
You are unharmed. You have my eternal gratitude, Sir Arisen. Now
no problem.
I can breathe freely at last.
Sir Kendrick, you'll never believe what I've found. It's just up ahead. Books, sir. Books, books, and more books. It's like some sort of secret workshop.
Truly, perhaps we ought to take a look.
Let's do it.
To follow close behind.
But yeah, y'all, bear with me while I'm playing the game. But yeah, like I was saying, I really think that Jamal really taking the fight is really just a matter. Obviously we saw how he took a devastating loss to Alex Pereira and the main event of UFC 300. And I feel like this is really just... What? Is enemies down here? I don't see any. I really feel like Jamal Hill taking this fight is him just trying to get that bad memory of the Alex Pereira loss out of his head, which is completely understandable.
Amazing, and I found it. Me.
It is quite a find indeed. Is this some manner of archive?
Crazy.
Why, I've ne'er seen so many books. This collection must be worth a fortune. Might I ask that you not share the existence of this place with others, Sir Arisen? We cannot allow the knowledge accumulated here to be misused.
Got the boy J.A. in the chat. What's up, J.A.? Thank you so much for joining me tonight, man. Just chilling, playing some Dogma. About to be done with this cutscene really soon.
It'll be our little secret.
Oh, but...
However, in exchange for your silence, you may come...
Y'all can see the drip I'm rocking.
Let's investigate this place's secrets together, eh?
It near boggles the mind that so impressive an
Damn, that's crazy. Just beat this quest, boys. Got that gold.
Surely any scholar's dream.
But yeah, y'all, like I was saying, Jamal taking this fight, I'm pretty sure everyone knows. Yeah, he's just trying to get the bounce back victory after losing to Alex Pereira in such a devastating fashion. He's fighting at UFC 303. It's going to be a massive card. It's the Conor McGregor card. We already know it's Conor McGregor versus Michael Chandler at 170 pounds. So that's going to be interesting to see how that goes. But at the end of the day, I really think that Jamal can win the fight. Khalil could definitely win the fight too. I'm not going to lie, man. It's going to be a pretty hard fight. For both fighters, I feel like with the power Jamal possesses, he can definitely put Khalil Roundtree out. We've seen Khalil Roundtree finish before. And obviously, we've seen Hill just get knocked out in his last fight. So, it's a pretty close fight. big stakes for both fighters. Jamal Hill's obviously trying to keep his ranking in the top 3 of the light heavyweight division. And he's fighting number 8, man. So this could definitely drop him outside the top 5 if he were to take a bad loss here. And it's just crazy, man. You know, like anything can happen in MMA. Obviously we all know that, but seeing him lose at UFC 300 like that, you know, it definitely probably even surprised himself, you know. You know, you train so long for a fight, you train 8, 10, 12 weeks for a fight, and it could just end in the first round like that, you know. So I feel for Hill, man, and I see why he's taking this fight, you know. But on the Khalil Roundtree side, excuse me, Khalil Roundtree had called out Alex Pereira as a joke, but like as we all know, or at least as I always say, every joke has some truth to it. I gotta talk to this guy, y'all. Hold on. So seeing how that went down like that, and they actually gave Khalil Roundtree the fight, I think that shows you that the UFC are down to see what Hill's still made of. You know, I really feel like for Khalil Roundtree, this honestly, well, obviously, the biggest opportunity he's ever had in his UFC career, you know. You're picking Hill, J.A. I feel you, man. I feel you, like, and, like, I honestly, like, support you for still doing that, man. Like, I like dudes that, like, you know, that aren't swayed by one fight. You know, you're still going to stay loyal, and I get it, you feel me? And, like, he's still a good fighter, man. Like, look who he lost to. You feel me? I'm looking for the subtitle show. Hold on. I'm like, you know, Hill's obviously still a good fighter and all that. And, like, look who he lost to, man. He lost to a future Hall of Famer, a guy that's really, really good in terms of the striking. And I really feel like it really just gave Hill some problems, man. And I feel like he never really got started, man. He never really got started. He didn't really get to show what he can really do with the striking. You know, he didn't get a chance to shoot a takedown or anything like that. But it's just like, still, at the end of the day, talking about the new matchup, it's just going to be interesting to see how it goes down, man. Like, it's in the co-main event of the Conor McGregor card, like I said. And just the fact it's the co-main event lets you know the UFC themselves know that's a massive fight. Like my man J.A. just said, he is picking Hill, so that does show you guys that there are people out there that definitely still believe in Jamal. Of course, he is still a former champion at the end of the day. And he can bounce back, man. We just got to see how it goes. Like, it's a close fight, though. I don't really have a early prediction in that right now. I'm not gonna lie, because I think that Jamal. I mean, I think Khalil has looked really good lately, especially like when he went off to Thailand and really redefined the striking. Like his Muay Thai, like the way like he'll come forward with his leg kicks. We saw what Khalil. He said, got my boy Skinny Sir in the chat. In case I don't know, that's the man Nicky himself. And like, yeah, even my boy Nicky, he's giving y'all his early prediction. My boy Nicky, of course, second half of MMAHOLICS. Nicky just picked Jamal Hill to win the fight. So that shows you that, again, guys, there's people still believing in Hill. And like I said, he's still a good fighter, obviously. But hold on, y'all. Let me talk to this guy right quick. Get this game going.
If we are to strengthen your Majesty's claim as a true
yeah, already did all this.
From Regent Kent's, a minister who happens to be one of the Queen Regent's staunchest and most powerful allies in the palace.
Facts.
From the pains he took to remain on scene, 'tis plain that Allard wished this delivery kept away from prying eyes. That alone is reason to suspect a connection to Deeza's schemes. The Regent Kin intends to call out. He bids you to use this opportunity to search the minister's chambers and see if there's aught to be. I shall ensure that the door to the minister's chambers is open between midnight and dawn.
Bet.
Pray.
So I gotta go break into somebody's crib. That's crazy. But yeah, first off, want to say what's up to my boy Ty Ty. Just entered the chat. Ty, this is Dragon's Dogma 2. You know, it's like a role-playing game, kind of. You know, you got mages, thieves, you know, archers, stuff like that. And I made a thief where I got these daggers and shit. But yeah, Ty, thank you so much for joining us. In case you guys don't know, go subscribe to Ty's Bets. Really cool dude. Always giving good bets. Guys can make some money off his fighting bets. And he's a really great guy as well. Really, really nice guy. Always showing support. Shout out to my boy Ty. And yeah, Ty, we were talking about Hill versus Roundtree on the first topic of the night. I really think that, again, like even just to end that, it's gonna be a good fight. I don't know if it's a #1 contender fight per se. I do think that, I mean, obviously Magomed Ankalaev, I do think is going to fight for the belt rather soon. They haven't announced a date or anything like that. Obviously, Alex Pereira took no damage versus Jamal, so I do think that they will make the Ankalaev fight rather quickly. But to get back to the other topics, yeah, yo, what's up, Tata? Yeah, man, it's a good game, Tata. If you ever want to try it out, bro, I think it's pretty cool. You know, I think you'd like it. If you like fighting games, you know, it's pretty hard though when you first start it. I'm not gonna lie, you're gonna get your ass kicked for sure. But yeah, yo, like again, and also my boy Nikki also just put into the chat some pretty good matchups. Obviously, we just heard that Jared Cannonier is fighting Nasruddin Imavov, so it's cool that they're getting the ball rolling, man. We get Jared Cannonier back. I'm not gonna lie, man, I'm pretty sad that Jared Cannonier is not gonna get like a big fight, man. Like, you know, he's coming off a literal record-setting win where I thought he really could have. He could have won. I mean, like, he really could have got a title shot or something like that, you know. But unfortunately, like, they're not going to give it to Jared Cannonier. And that's just how it goes sometimes, you feel me? Like, obviously, we know the UFC is a business, and it's about the dudes who sell the most. In my opinion, that honestly confirms that they are going to do Israel Adesanya versus Dricus du Plessis. Probably on the Australia card. We saw Dricus du Plessis put out that little Instagram, the diss. Yeah, yo, what's up, Thomas? Thanks so much for joining us. Thank you so much, bro. Thomas Manzanaro. Yeah, man, this is Dragon's Dogma 2. You hit it right on the nail. I'm doing this quest right now. I'm looking for this dude's house. But if I can't find it, I'll probably move on to another quest. Don't want to keep you guys waiting, watching me do all of this. But yeah, Thomas, we were talking about... Wow, that's embarrassing. Yeah, Thomas, we were talking about Cannonier versus Imavov. Obviously, they just made the fight. It's a big fight for Imavov, obviously. I mean, damn, he could get, like, you know, become the number 3 ranked middleweight if he wins that fight. Clearly, we know how big the UFC are on, like, getting out to France and Paris, stuff like that. We know that he's nicknamed the Russian Sniper, but we know he has, you know, he trains with Ferdinand Lopez, and he has ties to Paris. So, very, very popular fighter in France that Nasruddin Imavov is. And I think that's going to be really interesting to see him go against Cannonier. If I had to give mine, I'm gonna do this question. I've been meaning to finish this shit anyway. If I had to, here we go. Finally, yeah, I didn't even have the quest equipped. Here we go. If I had to give my pick on it, I'm probably gonna have Jared Cannonier beating Nasruddin Imavov. It's a close fight. I do think Imavov's a good fighter. Let's do this.
You have our gratitude. Lead the way.
I gotta sneak into this dude's crib, y'all.
The castle grounds. We have reached our destination.
Are the Arisen? Yes?
Hold on.
Follow me.
Gotcha. And yo, Thomas, what's up? I actually didn't pay to make this new character. I started from like the very beginning. I bought the game like 2 days after it came out. I had to wait for the check to hit, of course. It's a fun game, man. And like I said, you weren't here when I first started the stream. I played the first one back in like 2014, and I really enjoyed it a lot. I've always liked medieval games like this, in terms of like Skyrim. I played RuneScape back in the day, so that lets you know how much I really do like games like this.
It's best you move along. Pray, be cautious, Your Majesty.
That. Gotta go steal some shit. I'll turn this lantern off. I'm tripping.
I wish the minister would be more careful. He takes the sentinel posted outside his chambers.
Yeah, Tai, I feel you, man. Like, for me, it's just, I think Cannonier has the power advantage, bro. That's all. I think he has the power advantage, and I think he's fought the better competition, and he looked great against Marvin Vettori. I thought Cannonier looked phenomenal. He literally set a record on his face. And, but, you know, styles make fights. We know that Imavov's a bigger middleweight. I believe he's like 6'3", while Jared Cannonier's like 5'11". So we can see how... Not when these dudes catch me. We can see how Jared Cannonier is going to deal with the height. I believe Cannonier has the reach advantage, so... he could definitely use that to his advantage. You know how good of a striker he is with his power. Has really good power jab, great leg kicks, good body kicks as well. And he's not slowing down. Ooh, cutscene, y'all.
I would not presume to know, my lord. However, it must be a highly sensitive matter for the Regent Kin to request a private audience.
Or perhaps the boy has finally grown wise to the benefits my favor can bring. He might just be his mother's puppet, but at least he knows what's good for him.
My lord, if someone were to overhear...
Oh, unring your hands, you fool! As if anyone in this palace would dare say a word against me. Now, if Wilhelmina calls, tell her to await me in my chambers. I will return presently.
Oh!
What are you doing in here? I don't recognize you. Guards, seize the intruder.
Do I kill him? Oh shit! Alright, bitch, you got lucky. And like, yeah, my boy Thomas, while I fight this guy, put in a really good comment on the Jared Cannonier fight. For this, oh, bitch. Alright, my bad. I was pulling up my boy Thomas's comment. I'm about to fuck this dude up right quick. Hold on, y'all. Alright, bitch. Okay. Alright, bet, bitch. Nah, bitch. Nah, fuck all that. Nah, hell nah. Yeah, come on, bitch. Yeah. Yeah. Motherfucker, yeah. Yeah. You're lucky I can't crouch. Alright. It's putting a pause on me. I can't lie, y'all. Speaking of fighting. But my boy Thomas was putting some good points in the chat. He said that he thinks that Nasruddin can piece Jared up from a distance and box him up. Got this letter that I needed. You shouldn't have fucked with me. Bet. But yeah, I feel what you're saying, Thomas. Like, he says Imavov is able to outbox Cannonier at a distance. Will he? I think he can. By the way, I'm pretty sure he didn't train with Lopez for the first time this fight. Word. I did hear about that too. That they might have had a falling out. We know that Francis Ngannou at one point had a falling out with Ferdinand Lopez, so it wouldn't be the first time that one of his pupils decided to leave. It sucks for Ferdinand, though.
I must ask you to leave this place at once.
Yeah, you can suck my dick, though. But yeah, we'll see what happens, man. Either way, the last thing I will say about that is that I am mad that Cannonier isn't getting a big fight.
You've made a discovery regarding the false sovereign.
I think Duplessis versus Cannonier could have been a really good fight. And I thought that would have been a lot of fun, man. Like the power exchanges in that fight would have been like pretty insane, you know. And I think Cannonier would have had a pretty good chance of beating Dricus Duplessis, you know, like if they exchange in the pocket, go blow for blow. I think Jared can maybe hit a little harder. And I don't think Jared Cannonier is a fish out of water when it hits the ground. And he has great takedown defense too. We see his physique is a really, really strong fighter. Excuse me. And stylists make fights, you know. I really think that could have been really good. But, you know, it's what it is. So moving on to my next topic, though, tonight. Y'all, we saw that Joaquin Buckley, obviously he made a statement at the UFC 300 press conference trying to get a big fight. Hey, man, shoot your shot. You know, closed mouths never get fed. And the UFC gave him what he wanted. He's in the co-main event of UFC St. Louis versus the boy Nursultan Ruziboev. Now, that's interesting because obviously Nursultan Ruziboev is a middleweight. But he's going down to welterweight. 1 minute, y'all.
There is much we ought to tend to if we are to strengthen your majesty's claim as a true arisen.
Here you go.
I know this sigil well. 'Tis the crest of the neighboring country of Batal, a land with which Vermin has no official dealings at present. Let me see. It pray make haste in securing Melv, that all might be made ready ere our plans are set in motion. A meager clue, to be certain. Though, 'tis clear that the Queen Regent conspires with Batal. Though the political situation is stable at present, much blood has been spilled between Vermont and its neighbor in the past. I fear such a partnership would only portend the drawing of more. At any rate, 'twould seem our search has led us to only more questions I will investigate these matters as best I can. In the interim, Your Majesty, should you have time to spare, might you make for Melv? Only once we have gleaned a fragment of the Queen Regent's plot can we begin to thwart it. And ere it slips my mind, pray, take this. Perchance it will help speed you on your way to Melv.
Queen Regent Disa appears to be working in concert with this Phaedrus fellow. But what precisely is their aim?
Yeah, this game's getting pretty good, y'all. I can't lie. But like I was saying, Nursultan Ruziboev is going down to welterweight. He's a big middleweight, so I am really interested to see how that weight cut goes. It's gonna be pretty crazy to see, like, even just how that fight plays out. Nursultan Ruziboev is like 6'5", and I mean, you know, Joaquin Buckley's like 5'10". Of course, you know, height doesn't mean nothing in a fight. You know, he could chop the legs, you know, maybe thwart that footwork, slow Nursultan down, use some body kicks, maybe gas him out, and, you know, win a decision. That's a pretty crazy fight though for both fighters. Obviously Buckley's ranked at number 11 now, in the welterweight division. Sultan, this is a big fight. You know, he could get pushed up rather quickly in the welterweight division after Devin had fought there. So I am interested to see how it plays out. I'm kind of, you know, again, you know, it kind of sucks for Joaquin Buckley that he didn't get to get a step up the way he wanted to, you know. You know, he has to turn around, defend the rank, but at least, you know, it's literally in the biggest fight of his entire life. It's pretty interesting how Dana actually set that fight up that way, you know. We'll see what happens, though. Like, I do think that Joaquin Buckley can get it done. I think Nursultan's height might be a little bit of an issue with him trying to connect. So this is going to really, like, you know, force Buckley to come in with a really good game plan. I say Buckley in particular because I definitely think he's the A side in this matchup. You know, he's fighting at home in front of all his friends and family, and the second to last fight of the night. It's pretty unfortunate he couldn't get that main event spot. And I mean, either way, you know, at least he is on the card. And like, yeah, I do feel my boy Thomas in the chat. He says he wonders if Buckley's gonna wrestle more at welterweight. That'd be interesting to see. All right, well, fuck you then. I'll wait. It does suck, you know, that these dudes.
This personage of great esteem is to return from Batal to Vermund. I speak of Sir Augustin. He is a noble and the leading voice of opposition against the Queen Regent. Your aid is requested in guarding his ox cart as it travels the high road. As a potential ally to your cause, 'twould do you no favors if he were to come to harm. I trust he will cooperate, and bear in mind that this is a matter of the utmost secrecy. Not even the captain of the guard has been informed of it. You have your orders. Read them and follow them to the letter.
We must fly to the aid of those in need.
Let's do it. Damn, he's fucking him up. Damn. 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 So he was beating his ass.
We've no reason to refuse. Shall we make for the point of departure?
Let's do it.
Then follow me. I'll lead the way.
Alright.
You have our gratitude. Lead the way.
But yeah, y'all, I do feel what Thomas is saying. I wonder if he will wrestle in this matchup. Nursultan's massive for a middleweight, so for a welterweight, he's going to be like a total anomaly. He actually might be the tallest welterweight at 6'5" in the division if he makes the weight. I can't think of another 6'5" welterweight. I know Randy Brown is like 6'3", Neil Magny 6'3". So Nursultan really might be like the tallest welterweight if he makes the weight. That weight cut is going to play a part. I 100% think it's going to play a part. Like I said, you know, for middleweight, he's big, you know. So for welterweight, he's going to like have to take off so much weight, bro. So it's going to be interesting to see how that goes. And also my boy Tai Tai said in the chat as well, these goblins. My boy Tai Tai's playing Resident Evil 3. You know, I've yet to play that. Not the remake. I played the original on like PS2. I never got to play the PS5 version. I would most definitely. I want to play them in order. You know, like how they got remade Resident Evil 2, and they remade, you know, like Resident Evil 3, and they put Resident Evil 4 out too, bro. I don't know if you ever played Resident Evil 4, Tai, but that game is like so crazy, bro. Like that game is like insane, and seeing the PS5 graphics on like, you know, like the pictures for it, it honestly made me want to buy it, which I really might. And also, guys, on a quick side note, definitely tell us any games that you want me and Nikki to play. We're always down to play any games you guys want to suggest. And yeah, like we'll always play, you know, satisfy you guys while we're talking MMA. And my boy Tai also said that he played RE6. Bro, Resident Evil 6 was so cool. Because, like, I love how it had, like, the co-op storylines. On like every single thing, so you actually play it with a friend, and like it was cool because you play it as, like, you know, Albert Wesker, you know, one of the dudes was like his illegitimate son and stuff like that, and like Leon was in that shit, and then Leon gets to meet Chris, like that shit was like, yeah, man, damn, bro, I forgot how crazy that game is. That game is so crazy, bro. And appreciate y'all for hanging out with the boy tonight. I really appreciate y'all being here, man. My boy Thomas also said he played Resident Evil 4 as well. That shit was crazy. That shit was like so crazy. You feel me? Like with the chainsaw guy, they like, you know, it's like he was like a one-hit kill and stuff like that. And Tai actually meant Resident Evil 4 himself. I played that. I played it on the GameCube when it first came out, and then I got it again on PlayStation 2. And then they kept remaking it over and over and over, you know, and literally to the point where there's a Resident Evil 5. I mean a Resident Evil 4 PS5. Fuck was that? Oh, my ass, man. It like, but yeah, fucking goblins. But yeah, yo, like it's always so many classic games. It's cool y'all actually play Resident Evil, play Resident Evil in the first place. Dragon's Dogma is a Capcom game, so it is cool to see y'all actually do like fuck with the games, you know, like fuck with the culture. Definitely one of my favorite series for sure. But yeah, ending off on the Joaquin Buckley and Sultan Ruzi Boa fight, I was really gonna talk about the whole card, you know, the UFC St. Louis card. Lucky for me, I got work off that night, so I can actually watch it with you boys, you know, on Twitter, Discord, it's all that. It's a good card down in St. Louis, man. Of course, we already know the main event, you know, it's Derek Lewis versus Rodrigo Nascimento. You know, it was pretty funny when Joaquin Buckley said that, you know, about Derek Lewis not wanting to go 5 rounds. Because, you know, it was definitely true. It was definitely true. You know, Derek Lewis does not want to go 5 rounds. It never makes to the 5th round. Rarely with Derek Lewis, you know, especially if he's winning. I do think Lewis can win this fight. I think they're giving him that fight for that reason. They still love Derek. I don't think Derek's ever going to be at a point where they want to sacrifice Lewis and all that. Like, you know, he has the most knockouts in UFC history. Even to this day, you know, that's even to this day, like, you know, that's a Hall of Fame achievement. And I think Derek Lewis is too much of a fan favorite for them to ever want to sacrifice Derek Lewis to some prospect or anything like that, you know. So the card is good. I do like it personally. Rest in peace to that boar. Like I said, Joaquin Buckley versus Sultan Ruzi Boa is the co-main event. Terrence McKinney versus Esteban Ribovics is the featured bout. Alonzo Minifield versus Carlos Olberg is also on the card. This card is pretty crazy, I'm not gonna lie. Tabitha Ricci versus Tisha Torres is also on the card. Oh shit. Oh, we got an ogre. Oh, no, that's a Minotaur. Alright, bet. At least you boys get some action. Let's do it. Yeah, bitch. Hold on. At least, like I said, the card is pretty insane. Terrence McKinney's on the card. It's cool to see Terrence McKinney back. You know, he went through kind of a skid in some of his recent fights. We saw him get flying knee knocked out by Ismael Bonfim, who actually damn, he's almost dead already. Ismael Bonfim actually fights on UFC 301 himself, so you guys will also see me and Nikki break that card down. Please catch us when we do. It's good to see McKinney back, man. I've always thought Terrence McKinney's had a lot of potential. He's still super young, man. I think he's like 28 right now. So he still has a lot of room to grow. Really good fan favorite himself. Everyone loves T-Rex. He's always in an entertaining fight, whether he's getting finished or finishing his opponent. And Terrence McKinney's fighting Esteban Ribovics in this fight. Ribovics is 12-1, and I think he's a pretty good fighter himself. He's a pretty good banger. If you check Topology right now, it's 35% for Ribovics and 65% for McKinney. I do think the fight's a little bit closer than that. I think that's a lot of people that are, a lot of people love Terrence McKinney. His personality, his social media presence. He's a great fighter as well. I'm not gonna act like he's not. He has great power, great wrestling. And yeah, man, I still think Terrence McKinney's still a good prospect himself inside the lightweight division. We also got Alonzo Minifield versus Carlos Ulberg on the card. That's a good fight. I'm happy to see Carlos Ulberg finally start to work his way towards the rankings. Like, he is, I'll see how old he is now. I know he said light heavyweight. He's 33, so he is in his prime right now. So he does have, rest in peace, he does have some time left, in the light heavyweight to really make a move, try to get a title fight. I do think the UFC would love to push Ulberg at any moment. I think this after Carlos Ulberg lost to Kennedy and Zeshiku, the way Carlos, it's a fucking dragon. Alright, y'all, let me see if I can do some damage to this dragon right quick. I'm doing okay. Alright, bet. Yo, I've never killed a dragon in this game, y'all. I'm not gonna fucking lie. Yeah, like I said, though. Carlos Ulberg, I really think he's actually got half my health already. It's just, I feel like after losing to Kennedy, they really wanted to take their time with Carlos, I keep messing up his last name, Ulberg, Blackjack. He's a good fighter. Obviously, we know he's Israel Adesanya's training partner. And I really think that he's bigger than that. I feel like at any moment he could really make a name for himself inside the UFC, just based off his talent. I do think that Carlos Ulberg really is one of the best strikers inside the light heavyweight division. Just hasn't really gotten that big step up yet. And again, that's because he lost the Kennedy fight. And outside of that, they want to slow roll him, which I do think they should. I think he has a lot of potential. I'm not gonna say he's a future champion or anything like that yet. I do want to see him finish a top ranked guy in the way that he needs to try to get that respect. But I do think that Ulberg is a good prospect with a lot to offer. And like I said, the UFC could push him at any moment. He's really popular. Also, like let's be real, he's super marketable. His personality, his looks, he's thinking we can remember when Luke Rockhold was modeling for Ralph Lauren while he was the middleweight champion. I think Ulberg could kind of do the similar thing, like blow up while being a mixed martial artist, and this dude's taking no damage, bruh. It's just not going down at all. I'm gonna try one more time, and I'm gonna get the fuck out of here. Yeah, I really think that Ulberg, it's really only a matter of time again until he blows up. But we'll see how it goes. And like I mentioned earlier, we do have Tabitha Ricci. Alright, yeah, fuck this dragon. We do have Tabitha Ricci versus Tisha Torres. We know Tisha Torres had a baby recently, with Raquel Pennington, the UFC Bantamweight champion. And she's trying to just get some momentum going after giving birth. She was off for a while after that, and we know she lost to Mackenzie Dern. Some people actually believe that she beat Mackenzie Dern that night when Tisha Torres got that win. But we know how it is. How much the UFC loved Dern, and they want her to blow up as well. But we saw Dern also have her her ups and downs. But it's good. Again, it's good to see Tisha come back and really come back to a good fight too. Tabitha Ricci's gonna give her a really good fight, a good test back. We all love the Baby Shark, of course. Everyone's fans of the Baby Shark. And I do think that Ricci versus Torres can really be a good fight. We know how some people feel about women's MMA, of course, but I still think that's a good fight, especially for the strawweight division. Outside of that, we've got Alex Caceres versus Sean Woodson. Man, like the more I go down this card, the more I see how crazy it is. Me and Nikki were talking about that. It is a pretty crazy for a fight night, but we know how that has to be for a fight night to have fans nowadays and not be at the UFC Apex, so definitely tells you how good this card's about to be. Caceres versus Sean Woodson, it's a pretty crazy matchup. You know, the fact that Caceres is still here after being on the UFC roster for this long, I don't think people really understand like how impressive that really is for Alex Caceres to still be here on the roster. You know, especially some people thought that Caceres was just like, you know, a fun fighter, never really would, you know, amount to anything like that. And he's cracked the rankings, you know, multiple times. So I think Sean Woodson is going to give him a really difficult fight with the boxing, the reach advantage. I think Woodson's probably, if you know, top 5 boxers inside the featherweight division. But we know how good of a striker that Caceres is. And we're going to see how it goes, man. I feel like that's probably one of my favorite fights on the card. Whoa, a zombie. Holy shit. That's probably one of my favorite fights on the card. Caceres versus Sean Woodson. Early lean in that, man, before like doing much research, like I might be leaning Sean Woodson just based off like the distance control, but I do think that Caceres might be the more well-rounded fighter. But I feel like we've yet to really seen, whoa, what boss. I don't think we've really seen Woodson's full potential yet. Man, y'all are getting a crazy video tonight with all these monsters I'm fighting. If I can find them. But, oh, here he is. Damn, he's mauling on me. Jesus. But yeah, y'all. Like I said, it's a good card. Then we got Jake Halley versus Charles Johnson. Jared Gooden versus Kevin Doucette. Chase Hooper versus Vyacheslav Borshev. And it's a bunch of good fights. You know, we got the return of Robelis to Spain versus Waldo Cortez Acosta. I am excited to see how Robelis to Spain is gonna do inside the UFC. I was really excited to see him perform in Miami, and I think he really has a lot of potential. You know, like the Olympic bronze medalist in Taekwondo. I feel like Robelis is honestly in his prime right now, being 35 in the heavyweight division, and I feel like, you know, he really has a lot of upside, man. He can't even speak English, but I do think he can be a big star. You know, coming out. Whoa, this just sent me flying. Jesus Christ! And he tried to come and kill me. That's crazy. Try to finish the job. Yeah, he's dead. But yeah, I mean, we'll see what Robelis does. I do think that Waldo will be a good fight for him. We know that Waldo's a good boxer, not really the best at checking leg kicks, but I don't see that fight making it out the first round, to be quite honest with you. And if I had to give an early lean, I might take Robelis. And yeah, boy, Ty is active. I got Twitch. I don't have a Twitch channel, but me and Nikki aren't opposed to starting one. MMAHOLICS MMAHOLICS Twitch would be pretty lit, I'm not gonna lie. We probably would do a lot more gaming streams over there. Of course, for an MMA channel at the end of the day, but also love giving some gaming content as well and intermingling it with the MMA. But we would make a Twitch though, if it ever came down to it. Definitely wouldn't mind. We'd probably get together and like discuss that, you know, especially if the boy Nikki's still watching. We can talk about that later for sure. And yeah, man, like again, like those really all the fights on the card. The last fight I'm really looking forward to is Diego Ferreira versus Matheus Rebecki. Matheus Rebecki, he's 19-1 and he's a fucking monster. And we know that Diego Ferreira knocked out Michael Johnson recently, so that's gonna be pretty interesting to watch. And we have the return of Veronica Hardy on the card as well. Look at that deer. But yeah, either it's really good card. And I am looking forward to UFC St. Louis. I do think it'll be pretty insane. But yeah, guys, that might be all I have for y'all tonight. Clocking in at about 40 minutes on the channel. I gotta go take care of something else tonight, but I want to thank you guys again so much for joining us on the MMAHOLICS YouTube channel. Again, y'all, we're an MMA-based channel. We're gonna do our breakdown for UFC 301 and get a date set for our UFC St. Louis breakdown as well. Really appreciate you guys joining us. Always appreciate you guys joining in the chat. Always asking the questions, showing love, stopping by. And yeah, I want to shout out to my boy Tai, my boy Thomas, everyone that joined tonight. Thank you so much for joining. J.A., thank you again for joining, bruh. And the boy Nikki as well. Thank you so much for watching. And God bless you guys. And good night.